There's this kid. His name's Johnny, but we call him Creepy Johnny. He's a pretty messed up kid. He hurts animals just to watch them suffer and die. I would not doubt that he would do the same to a human as well. You see, he goes to my school, and he has terrible anger issues. He scares the crap out of people. I guess I could say that he is bipolar. He's always staring at me, and I would say something, but he just gives me the creeps, so I kind of keep my distance from him the best I can. At lunch, he sits alone, and he doesn't even eat. He just sits there and draws in his notebook. He has an assigned seat next to me in chemistry class. He draws creepy things such as gore, death, torture, etc. He sits alone outside during our afternoon walks and stuff as well. I'm home, and I've been feeling very uneasy lately. I feel like I'm being watched, not only when I'm outside, but when I'm inside as well. I can't stop thinking about how Creepy Johnny constantly stares at me at school. I mean, even when I have my back turned, I still feel his eyes beating down on my neck. In chemistry, I saw him taping pictures of people in his binder. His drawings have become more gruesome. I need to say something. I need to tell. It's nighttime and I still feel the creepy sensation of eyes burning my neck. Even when I shower, I've attempted to close the blinds, but I still feel like I'm being watched. I tried telling my parents, but they just brushed it off and told me that I'm just paranoid. I was even in my basement trying to wash clothes and I still felt eyes, and I couldn't finish due to me being paranoid. I can't sleep. I had a nightmare, and it was about Creepy Johnny. I was strapped to the wall by a red strap. Creepy Johnny appeared in front of me. He was holding a knife with blood on it. I felt pain. When I looked down to where I was hurting, I was shocked with terror. All of my organs had been pulled from my body, leaving only my lungs and my heart. I heard a giggle come from Johnny. Ha! What does the pain feel like, Jesse? He then grasped the knife and was about to end me. I woke up terrified and too afraid to go to school where I would see the monster again, and to be tortured by his eyes tearing through me. I'm not ready. I've arrived to school and all I feel is Johnny's eyes burning the back of my neck. That's it. I have dealt with this enough. I turned around. Okay, why do you keep staring at me? Why are you drawing this gore in your notebook? Johnny studied me for a moment. I don't know what you're talking about. He looked back to his notebook. I snatched it away from him and started flipping through the pages. But no, it's not true. The drawings weren't there. Where are the drawings? Johnny studied me with a blank face. I don't know what you're talking about. I know he hid them somewhere. He had to. Stop staring at me, okay? It creeps me out. Johnny's face looked like his anger was about to explode. I walked away. Where did he put it? I managed to make it through the day. Yes, still feeling his eyes eating me alive. I didn't want to say anything because I was not really up for pissing him off. I'm home, but I feel very uneasy. My parents are asleep, but I can't sleep. I feel strange. I feel the presence. I know I'm not the only one here awake. I hear something, like a giggle. Very faint, but I can hear it. It sounded like it came from my closet. It's hard for me to believe what I'm hearing. It stopped for a moment, but when the terrifying giggle returned, it wasn't coming from the closet this time. It sounded like it was coming from my hallway, and this time a little louder. It sounded like the giggle coming from Creepy Johnnie in my nightmare. All my thoughts rushed through my head, and I kept thinking that the giggle came from Johnnie. But I mean, how did he find out where I live? I heard my mother scream while a deep gurgling sound came from my parents' room. My first instinct was to grab my phone just in case. I rushed into my parents' room, paralyzed from what I had just seen. My father was strapped to the wall by a red strap with all of his organs removed and nothing left but his lungs and his heart. My dad, still alive, used his last breath to say, "Call 911 and find your mother." I rushed to grab the phone from my pocket and noticed the battery was missing. I wanted to collapse to my knees and just cry, but I knew I had to find Mom. I heard the sick giggle again, this time from the basement. I ran to my room and grabbed a baseball bat, nearly wanting to puke from thinking about what I had just experienced, and I was horrified to know what I may face next. I slowly but cautiously opened the door to my basement, grasping the bat in my hands. Each step I took creaked and made noise. I heard the weeping of my mother, but muffled. I took full instinct in wanting to just hug my mother in my arms again, and so I rushed to find her in a condition that no son should see his mother in. She had a torn shirt made into a gag in her mouth. She had been brutally beaten and in critical condition. I screamed in horror, "Mom!" Then the sudden sick giggle came from behind me. I was now ready. I wanted to beat the guy behind it all, till there was nothing left of him. I had been traumatized long enough. I grasped the bat and swiftly turned around, which left me facing Creepy Johnnie. He looked different. He had a gash on his right cheek, pouring blood, and his eyes were wide, and his pupils were the size of quarters. I swung the bat with all my force, but when I regained my focus, he was gone. His now annoying giggle came from the kitchen upstairs. I grabbed my dad's hatchet and crawled up the stairs. When I reached the kitchen, I saw Johnnie standing like a statue at the window. He gave me the gruesome stare, and with a grin, he said, "Haha, what does the pain feel like, Jesse?" Then he fell backwards out of the window, and I rushed to the window hoping he died from the fall. But he wasn't there. 4 weeks have passed. My mom has 5 broken ribs, and 3 of her fingers are broken as well. My mom is having to sell the house to pay for my dad's funeral. I now hate Creepy Johnnie more than anything possible. We are packing our things today to move in with our Aunt Teresa for a while. As I picked up the last box to go to the moving truck outside, I noticed something peeking out from under my bed. It was a red binder. I did not own any binders. Out of curiosity, I picked it up and opened it. I sat and opened it. I saw pictures of people before and after being brutally beaten, taken in the binder. Then I saw something that caught my eye. It terrified me, and I'm still scarred from it. A picture of my dad, and somehow had both before and after pictures, which made me want to cry. Then a picture of my mom, with both before and after pictures, except the after picture had an X over it. then there's mine. A before picture, but no after. I have a scary feeling that since Creepy Johnnie is still alive, he will come looking for me, and he will get the after picture. I found the notebook in a hidden compartment in the binder, and now all the gruesome drawings all add up. That's all what he did to the people in the binder. We're in my aunt's house now, and I feel his sick, gruesome, twisted eyes burning me alive. I know he's here. Creepy Johnnie will return.